Hello, this is Veronica with Casa Vilora Interiors, and welcome to today's episode of VTV. The reason you're not seeing me today is you are in for a treat. I'm actually going to be doing a room tour today. And this space is actually a building located on the property where my studio is located. And it's been sitting pretty empty for a while. And eventually I decided I was going to go ahead and do the floors in here, which I ended up doing. And if you can see, they're actually plywood floors. I went out to Home Depot and purchased sheets of plywood, had them cut them into strips, and install them here to look like hardwood. And then I stained them in this gray stain, and I think it just makes for a really good look. And so I decided to stage this space to give you guys an idea of how I would stage a place for you, and just to give you some design tips and ideas of how you could do this in your own home. And so basically I'm going to give you a little walkthrough today, and I will point out a few little of the features and a little of the unique elements of this room, and hopefully you guys will get a little bit of a takeaway here and you can do some of this in your home. Obviously we would love to do it for you, and you can call us in and we could stage your place just like this for you. And if you prefer to do it yourself, hopefully you'll get some ideas of how you can do that. So I'm actually gonna try to carefully do this, and I'm gonna slowly turn around, and we're gonna start the tour at the front door of this space. And you can see that I am very much into painting doors unique colors, and so this door was really dingy and really dirty and had stickers all over it, and so I decided to just pull off the stickers and just paint it out in yellow. And so I did this nice little sunny yellow to just add a little bit of a nice surprise to this room. And so it's become one of my favorite elements in the room. And of course the wall color you can see is this nice cool blue color, and that just helps open up the space a little bit. I mean, it's quite a sizable room, but what I did was stage it to look like a studio apartment, so I'm trying to get a lot out of this small space. All right, and then I'll show you the floor again. As you can see, it's stained in this nice gray, so it works really well with the door and the wall color and just feels really fresh in here. All right, so moving over to the entryway area. I always like to put a mirror in an entryway, and the reason is when you're going out, it will just give you a final opportunity to check yourself, check your makeup to make sure that you're looking spiffy for the day. And I always like to include a little table as well. And if you see this little console table is where you could drop your keys or just drop your purse or something as you come into the room. And of course we want to make it pretty, so there's a floral arrangement. It's an orchid, and I love to decorate with this full arrangements that look like they're the real thing. And a stack of books. I love to use books as well because it just adds a little bit of a warmth and just a nice element to a room. And so you'll see books scattered throughout every room that I decorate. And ceramic animals. I am very big on white ceramic animals. That's also a little signature of mine. Obviously I don't do it for every client, but wherever it calls for it, I like to bring those in. And so moving over to what would be the little office area. And I'll try to pan around here so you can see that. Before I get to the office area, you will notice the curtains. These curtains are actually from IKEA. They are just the white linen drapery panels that they sell, and I wanted to add a little bit of a unique touch to it. So if you'll notice the little banding on the leading edge of the panels, and that's just to give it a unique look. And you notice that they're not lined. I usually like to line my draperies when I do custom draperies for clients, but because this room just kind of feels a little breezy and feminine and soft, I figured we could get away without lining the curtains, and obviously to keep the cost down, because I'm basically staging this place. Nobody's gonna live in here. It's really just for the purpose of illustrating to you guys what the possibilities are for a small space. Okay, so moving over into the office area, you'll notice my gallery wall, and that's another thing that I enjoy doing is gallery walls, and it can have a mix of art and ceramics and just anything that you like and want to pull together. And so you'll see that I have a little cork bulletin board over there where you can display family pictures. I actually have 2 family pictures up there. And then the art itself are actually done by my children. The one at the top is my daughter's, and the 2 at the bottom, they were done by my son. And the one off to the right is actually a piece from IKEA. And the one to the left is someone that I met online through one of my blogging groups, a very talented artist called Terry Lynn Davis. And she did that piece for me. And so I love that. And so I have it in my office area to give me some inspiration as I work. And so here you will find a little desk area. And I picked up this campaign desk, and I'm really excited about it because it's a pretty cool desk. And I actually bought that at World Market. And it was something like $250 for that desk. But you can see it's a nice rustic look, and it fits perfectly in the space. The chair behind it as well is actually a dining room chair. I always like to bring in comfy chairs in offices, and so this one is also from World Market, I believe. I can't quite remember, but I think it was from World Market. And then these 2 smaller chairs, they're Parsons chairs that have skirts. And so they just add a little bit of a softness here. So in office areas, it's always nice to bring in a little bit of extra seating, just in case somebody wants to hang out with you. Maybe you see clients in your home, whatever it is. It's nice to have a little bit of extra seating there. And of course, these chairs could be pulled in a pinch into the living area where you can entertain guests as the need arises. So you'll see that I have a rug on the floor here. And I really like to bring rugs in to anchor vignettes, because otherwise, to me, furniture will tend to feel like they're floating in a room if I do not add an area rug to ground it. And so that area rug right there is an indoor-outdoor rug, actually. And something like that works perfectly in a space like this. And so moving over to the other window here, you'll notice that I carried the window treatment throughout, just to give it some consistency. In such a small room, there really is no need to do a ton of different window treatments. You just kind of need to keep it consistent. And you'll notice that I have a plant here by the window. And I like to bring plants into and place them into areas that are otherwise would be dead space in a room. I couldn't put a piece of furniture there because there really wouldn't be any room to move around it. So a plant will visually fill up the area and make it look like it's not so empty. And so we move over into the bedroom area, and you will see that there is an upholstered headboard, and that I actually did myself. I got a little bit of help from a friend of mine, but for the most part I did this. And so it's not done perfectly, but it just looks like $1 million as you walk into the room, because it gives you a pop of color, and it really is a feature because it's one of the first things that your eye sees when you walk in. I always like to bring in nice size nightstands. I really don't like small, flimsy nightstands. This one, even though it's a small space, I try to bring in a good one that would bring you a lot of storage. And so, there's only room for one, but for me, it's better to have one decent nightstand and have, flimsy ones that are out of scale. And of course, there's a mirror above it. Always like to bring in mirrors in a bedroom area, and a lamp, and just a floral arrangement and some frames. And that's really all you need on the bedside table, maybe a clock if somebody actually lived in here. Then on the bed, I wanted to keep the bedding pretty simple because, as you can see, the headboard is really eye-popping. And so it's just a duvet cover that I picked up from overstock.com for like $60. And it basically just pulls the collar in with a little bit of trim that's on there, the little embroidered detail that goes on there, and some pillows and a neck roll pillow to match the headboard. And I just think that's such a good look. The ceramic flowers on the wall, I actually had them for a very, very long time, and I finally pulled them out of storage and just put them up there. So I think they kind of pull out the floral effect from the headboard and just makes it flow just a little bit. And at the bottom, at the foot of the bed, you will notice I have a bench. And the bench, it's in a completely different pattern than anything else that's going on in the room. But I love that it's unique. And so it's just a piece that I had sitting in my house and just brought it in. It's always good to bring in a seating area in a bedroom, whether it's a bench or a couple of chairs or a sofa. And that's just a good place that you could rest your purse or something like that, or sit to put your shoes on. And that's always a nice feature in a bedroom. So moving over into the living room area. And just before we get to the living room area, you will notice that I carried the window treatments over to this window as well. And I don't know if you can see, there's an AC unit that's literally behind that plant right there. And I tried to hide it as much as possible while still allowing the air to circulate in here. And that's a good way. That's a good little takeaway that you can get from this. These are little things that you can do to disguise something ugly in a room. You can put a nice plant. And I prefer to do something structured like a bird of paradise plant here. It just looks like almost an architectural piece, for lack of a better word. But you want to do something that's really structured. And it's doing a pretty good job of trying to disguise that ugly AC unit as much as possible. So moving over to the living room area, you will notice that I have seating for maybe about 3 or 4 people in here. And in fact, you could actually bring in 2 ottomans that you could place in 2 small ottomans, that is, you could place in the front right here. But I didn't do that in this case. But you will notice the sofa, and it might be familiar to you because it's an IKEA sofa, and it's just a slip-covered piece, which is perfect in this breezy, feminine space. Above it, I got this print at Home Goods, I believe. And I really needed to have something big and bold on the wall, but not something that's going to take away the attention from the rest of the room. And that candle chandelier is something that I had sitting on my back porch for a long time, and I just decided to brush it off and bring it in here, and it fits so perfectly in the room. Of course, there is a lot of pillows on the sofa, and I don't think I've ever done a room without a few pillows. I get some objections from mostly my male clients, but I still convince them that pillows are necessary. And as I move around here, you will see that there is a chair that is a part of the living room area as well, with pillows and a little bar cart right next to it. And this is just a great area for where you can put your drinks down when you have guests over or anything like that. So, you always want to try to put a table in close range to a chair or a table, or a chair or a sofa. And of course, you just have a little bit of accessories. Again, here's another orchid. I just love decorating with orchids. For me, they are suitable for any environment. You can have a traditional room, you can have a contemporary room, you can have something in between, and orchids just always seem to work. And so that's why you'll find those in a lot of the rooms that I decorate. And of course, books. You'll see tons and tons of books as well. And so I'm a major collector of books, and so you'll see quite a bit in here as well. So moving over to this part of the room in the living room, here I have like a console table, and this could be like a media center. So if somebody actually lived in this room, you could have a TV on that media center instead of all the accessories I have on there. But since, like I said, it's for show, I just have a bunch of books on there. And just things, it just looks like a collector's dream over there. And that's what I was going for. It's almost like it's a collection of things that are near and dear to you. And so you'll see the art on the wall here. It's a series, and all the books are covered in the brown paper, and I just love that look. It just feels nice and soothing. And of course, all of this is anchored by this area rug. And again, I love to bring area rugs in to anchor space. In this case, this is a kind of a river rock type look that I went for here, and it's just a subtle look in this room, so it's not trying to take away from the room, but it actually just really softens the look here. As we move around, there's another yellow door that you'll notice, and this door, it actually just leads to a storage area. But if this was actually an apartment that somebody lives in, it could be a closet, kitchen area, or bathroom area, or something like that. So again, it's just storage that's behind that door. Over here would be the dining room area. And so you'll see that I have a table, just a small round table, and it has 4 chairs. And these are just IKEA chairs that I picked up a couple years ago. And the light fixture, you'll notice, I just picked that up at World Market as well. And on the wall here, you will see that my son, he did some art for me. And we just kind of found a fun way for displaying them. So I picked up these clipboards at Michael's, and we just use those to display his art. And you can do any type of art on here. We just kind of decided to do something really colorful just because the room itself is kind of monochromatic and quiet. We just wanted to make a pop over here, and so he helped me create these pieces. And then over here you will notice that we could still even squeeze in storage in this small space. And so these are some of the things that I would do for you in your home, is arrange it in a way where I can pull a lot of storage in for you. And you'll notice this piece is an IKEA shelving system. And if you know me, anybody who does know me, they know that I love to collect white ceramic animals and plates and anything like that. And so here you'll see a good portion of my collection. Well, believe me, I have tons more, but this is just a small percentage of it. And basically you'll see my pig. I love to decorate with pigs. It's kind of a weird thing, but I just think that they just have such a cute look. And the way I displayed some on the wall. You can see those are some small plates, I'm sorry, that I displayed on the wall there. And then above it I just had some grass and, you know, like a candle holder, and basically just display them over here. In this room I didn't do a rug over here, but you could actually add like a round rug or a square. Because when you have a round table, you want to do either a round rug that's going to be bigger than the table, obviously, or you want to do a square rug. And so that's just a little tip that you can take away as well. And just to come back around, it takes you right back into the entryway. And here you are at the front door again. So as you can see, this room is it would be a dream space for somebody who's going to get their first place. Maybe you just left high school, off to college, and this is your first space. So I just kind of wanted to do this to showcase some of what we could do for you in a space. And if you are a realtor watching this, these are some of the things we can do for your clients that you are listing their homes for sale. We can just go in and just make it look like a homey, beautiful environment that anybody would want to purchase so they could live in there. And so that's basically it for today. Hopefully you got some good information, some good tips and ideas for your own home. And of course you can call us if you need any decorating help. We do anything from full service design to home staging to e-design. So if you're not local to Houston, we could actually help you decorate your home through our e-design service. Please like this video if you like it, and subscribe so you will never miss another video. We try to do at least one a week, and so it always has wonderful ideas for your home. And so this is where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of VTV, and I look forward to having you join us again as we showcase another beautiful space.